to my little shop of spirit. I'm Luna, and today we're doing a pick a pile charm reading where we'll be describing you. So if you chose pile 1, then you're in the right place. As I was channeling for your pile and cleansing the space, a couple of things came through. The first thing is powerhouse, and secondly, building something from clay by hand, and I'm hearing from the earth. And I'm getting the image of like earthenware, and I also heard volcano. Let's pull some charms and see what else comes through for you, pile 1. I'm hearing golden child, and there's something really strong about aspirations coming through. I would describe you as someone who's highly unique. You bring something special to the world, something to do with your dreams. You're someone who's very liberated. Unique is an understatement when it comes to you, and you're someone who's highly abundant, not just in the material world, but also emotionally, and you pour onto yourself and others. And I keep getting images of like Mesopotamian, like pottery, and I'm hearing like Greco-Roman, like gladiator as well. And I'm hearing you're very wise. Like you have, it's almost as if you have the sort of intelligence that's forbidden or like highly sacred in some way or ancient in some way. You're someone who's highly practiced in some way, diligent, and just like a shooting star, honestly. And just like you have so much star symbolism coming through your pile, it's like insane. Obviously we have the star card here, but we also have this shooting star charm. I think you're someone who would be described as very mysterious, and I feel like you have had to meet yourself maybe in this lifetime. You're someone who's really connected to their inner child. I think your inner child literally like drives you at times, and I'm just hearing like golden child again. And you might have been like a favorite of many of your family members, and a grandmother figure is coming through strongly in this pile. You might have been especially connected to this grandmother in your childhood, and you're someone, your energy, and I mean just you could be described as like a fire breathing dragon. And I'm just hearing like machine. You go after what you want. You find the pieces to the puzzle. And I feel like that's significant because I feel like your whole life, your puzzle has been like hidden from you, and you've had to find the pieces. So like part of your puzzle has been just finding the pieces, and like you're okay with that. Finding the pieces to put your puzzle together. It's how you've slowly but surely made your climb happen. It's like, I feel like for you, your purpose has felt very shrouded in mystery, and I feel like you're someone who has really adapted your identity to people and places and situations around you. That in your early life was probably like part of what largely made you feel disconnected from you finding those initial pieces, was because you were molding yourself to like everybody else, and like it made you feel disconnected from that search to find those first few pieces. I mean at this point I feel like you have found like 4 or 5 pieces, and like there's like there is a wheel rolling. And you know what's really funny? I'm just getting this image of, I'm like reminded of that one scene in Year One when they're like Jack Black and Michael Cera their characters are riding on the wagon for the first time, and it's probably going like a mile an hour. But they are like on the verge of getting sick. I'm just reminded of that right now. Your aura, you have like just a fiery but cleansing aura, and you have a heavy angel presence as well, like around you. I think you're very angelic yourself, and then you also have like, I'm hearing like 2 to 3 angels around you. 7 might be significant to you, and the number 4 and 11, and maybe 2, like 11 symbolizing 2 and just balance and duality. It's funny because as I say that, we have 714 on my timer. It's weird because and maybe you'll understand this because it's meant for you, but I feel like peeling away your ego is how you found your ego. I just heard taking flight, and again, the message of there being like an angelic presence around you. And I'm getting like one main one, but there's multiple. And I mean, you yourself are a very like heavy angelic presence. I think you didn't realize that for much of your life. Like, you're coming to terms with you. I think you are overflowing. If you were a chest or a suitcase, you couldn't put enough pressure on this suitcase or this trunk to get it closed, locked, latched, zipped, whatever. Like, you are ready to take off, take flight. You have so much that's ready to be done. I think, you're someone who's really excited and you're open to what's to come to you. You're someone who's really loyal. And I just heard, if it's with you, it's for life. And I just heard nimble and moonlight. I think you're definitely a night owl, and people definitely would describe you as mysterious. You might be connected to Lilith. I'm hearing like your eggs are ready to hatch, and it's like you haven't even laid them yet. Like, if you were like a turtle, like you're ready to get your legs, what the heck? I'm totally being reminded of like Ariel right now, and like I think her name is Ariel. I haven't watched that movie in like a really long time. I need to watch that. I need to watch the most recent one actually, but I think it's Ariel, the Little Mermaid, and I think she gets legs when she comes to land. But I mean, that's like a common mermaid thing. And a message about your water space being very developed, and then you having a lot of material abundance is coming through this message a lot. So I feel like you are able to like pull out of your emotional space and translate that into material abundance somehow. You're someone who's becoming comfortable though, and there's something like, I don't know how to like encapsulate this message, but there's like there's like symbols of like library and rose and Beauty and the Beast and like moonlight again. That's your energy, a piece of it. Like, I feel like specifically when you're operating in the nighttime, you have like I just heard like stillness in the night, and it's like a comfort that happens in the night. You have like a cover of the night. Like, that's what it was, cover of the night. And I don't know why, but I was just hearing like cover of the night, but also it was coming through like, I don't think this literally means that. I think that's a saying, but it was also coming through like the night literally being like a duvet that you like cover yourself in fully. Like, I'm like getting the image of someone like covering themselves in a duvet, like all the way overhead, their arms fully extended, maybe even that being the night for you. I don't know why, but just it feels safe. You might have like thick long hair, and people would definitely describe you as a soulmate. A message about mermaids or like symbolism of mermaids is coming through, specifically a shell and just long hair. Again, I'm thinking people might describe you as very mermaid like, or like sirenish even, and I'm realizing like the image on the star, this person is like coming up to the water, like that's kind of like sirenish or mermaidish, and they're fully naked too, so like a mermaid would be. But also, we talked about you earlier being connected to your inner child, and I think childhood is often a time when we run around in the nude and stuff like that. So I'm just being called back to those earlier messages again, and also just another confirmation of your angelic guardian presence. You're someone who is quick, and I'm being reminded of the Cobra Kai show. But despite all this drive that you have, you're someone who's actually quite romantic, and people would describe you as being romantic and just very mysterious. And I think that's like, also I'm being reminded of your night owl tendencies. Like, I feel like the mysteriousness and that energy of like you at night, it's heavily linked. You're very trustworthy. People would describe you as transparent but deep, and change is on the way for you, pile one, both of the self and of your circumstances. And I'm hearing the sun will come out, and whereas before your sun may have been shrouded and your ego may have been shrouded, your purpose may have been shrouded in mystery and emotion, and this emotion was adapting to everyone and everything around you, making that search difficult, as we were discussing earlier. But it's almost as if your ego and your purpose, it becomes clear with time, time and your emotions can sit still and safe within you. Finally, that is all that we have for you today, Pile 1. If you found that helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe, and definitely feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. If you are called to another pile, I'll find you there now, but otherwise I hope to see you in our next one, and if not then one very soon. Bye. So let's just jump into it, Pile 2. I heard for your pile while I was channeling a message about coming from the mud and making things happen, and I heard let's work, and I just got this image of like you know, like fly on the wall, but it's like you're a lizard on the wall, so it's like fly on the wall but one who's eating, like you're being an observer and you're also eating. But let's see how that message unfolds a little bit more. Something's unfolded for you, something that you know, you can rest easy on because your hands and feet are clean in the matter. And there's you know, a really heavy message of you like scales and balance coming through, and you being the guide to reaching it, you having access to the tools needed to do so in this situation. I feel like your path to justice was like very mystical, and I'm hearing foggy and just smoky, and I'm hearing smoke screen. I feel like you had to cut through smoke with a sword. It just felt like effing impossible. You didn't know then what was within you. You had no idea, but you know now. You're starting to see now. You don't know, I won't say you know all the way because I don't think you do. I think you've had a glimpse of it. That's it. Oh my gosh. I have butterflies in my stomach for you, Pile 2. Let's pull some charms and just see how we would describe you. How would we describe you? How would I describe you? How would you be described? How can you be described? I'm hearing hidden angel, rock star. I feel like you're someone who just navigates like the dense fog at all times. Like everything feels so smoky. I'm like, I feel paranoid at times because I'm like, is this intentional? Is this intentional? This smokiness? Like, you may reach points of paranoia. There's some element of like, it's like a never ending death and a never ending birth that you're closely associated to. And you know this cycle well, and it almost feels personal, and it almost feels like how you know your soul. And I'm just hearing like a reflection of the cosmos and you being a reflection of the cosmos. I think you are certainly a cosmic being. People would describe you as that. I mean, you can be described as that. We're all technically that, but you would be described as that. Something about you is just otherworldly, and I'm hearing it's the way that you handle things. It's the way that you think about things. You don't slip up. Like your character does not slip. Like oh my gosh, I just got the image of like it's as if you've ever worked in like fast food or like in food in general or just around food, then you know that you're often made to wear like a special sort of shoe that's it grips the floor better. It's like an anti-slip shoe, and I'm like getting like your spirit has like those shoes on. It's like so you don't slip on grease, actually is what the shoes are for. And it's like your spirit has these shoes on, like you do not slip up from start to freaking finish. You are a good person. Like you do not compromise on your values. I'm getting cold chills. You are on the outside and on the inside a freaking star. You're magnificent, I'm hearing. And I just heard Serena Williams. I think you're like a star player, and you're someone who's really pure, like at your core. Even if people think you have like a, you know, a spiny, textured, hard exterior, you're totally open on the inside. You're someone who is many would consider attractive, and I'm hearing your personality and also your laugh is infectious. You're someone who is a lot of fun to be around. People are highly attracted to you, and I'm hearing it's partly just because of all that you've been through, and you know, it's kind of shaped you. Like you can't help but have a certain exterior because of it, and I don't really feel like that's a physical exterior. I feel like it's more of like an energy, a demeanor. Will feel that people want to take care of you. I think you're someone who's overextended, and I'm hearing just like bent over backwards and broken your back, like taking care of theirs. People wouldn't necessarily describe you as that person though, but I don't think it's because they don't see that necessarily. It's just because you wear your work well. Like, you don't really look like someone who works, honestly. Like, you just have you kind of have like really peaceful air about you. Like, I don't particularly know the meaning behind these herbs, but I'm just hearing like lavender and basil. And just as I say that, we pull out the peace charm. You're someone who's like incredibly loving. I think that's maybe why, despite all that you've been through, you kind of can't tell really, because you're someone, it's like your heart keeps you young. I think you're someone who has like a lot of ideas in your head and maybe like a separate world in your head. You've probably went through a throat chakra transformation very recently. You almost feel like you have a second set of eyes now in your third eye, and I'm hearing also a second set of ears. So I feel like your intuition is so heightened that you've probably picked up, a few psychic gifts recently. You've been really fulfilled by this, and I'm hearing just really happy. The song Sherry Fraser is coming through for your pile. I think you're someone who is either very young or just your energy is very young, and I feel like you're you're growing in some sense, and you're very new to something, and I just hear I heard the word learning and the phrase I'm learning, and there's like a director or a producer that's coming through for this pile, and I need to look him up real fast. So it's the director named Spike Lee, and the show She's Gotta Have It. I think you are new and nimble, in the space where you could be sort of new and bumbling. You are new and nimble, actually. New and nimble, and this thing that you're new and nimble to is bringing balance to your life, and it's unlocking keys to a higher timeline for you, and 2 keys specifically are coming through very heavily in this, and it's 2 keys are becoming available, but I'm also hearing like this is like a single thing or a single path that is giving you access to these 2 keys, and it's a single thing or single path that's bringing balance to your life, and it's a single thing and single path that you're both new and nimble, even though you could be new and bumbling to it. It's almost like this thing that you're new to, you're natural at, and I'm hearing just it's allowed you to be prepared before you've been able to see the plot, prepared before you've been able to see the plot unfold. I just heard V for victory. If there's something that you have been, seeking justice on, or you received justice on, and I just heard like thorn in the side, I'm picking up now that you've received the justice, and now it's like all of this is unfolding because of that. Or maybe it's like this unfolding is what allowed you to receive justice. It's almost like an exchange of those things. Maybe a little bit at both, but like both at once. This feels like something you are always going to tap into. It was your nature, I'm hearing, and it's like once you tapped into it, it unlocked your heart space and an abundance that was waiting for you. And that concludes our charm reading for now, pile 2. I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, don't forget to like and subscribe, and definitely feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. I love to read them, and if you recall to another pile, I'll find you there now. If not, then I hope to see you in another reading soon. Bye. Hello, and welcome to my little shop of spirit. I'm Luna, and today we're doing a pick a card charm reading. If you chose pile 3, then you're in the right place. So let's begin. While I was channeling for your pile, I heard lover, and also that you've been through a lot, pile 3. I feel like my voice came through a little bit stronger there even as I said that, and it's like I kind of want to cry. Actually, my eyes are kind of like, ooh, pile 3, you've been through a lot, and you are a freaking goddess because of it, like in the flesh. I'm getting cold chills as I say that. You've been through a lot of tumultuous times, a lot of turmoil, a lot of pain, a lot of toil, and a lot of darkness, and you've walked in the shadow, and you may be connected in some sense to Hecate, Hekate, I believe, and there's some element of like the dark side of the moon or the occult coming through, and I'm just hearing flowing to the bottom of the pit and finding fertility might be a gamer. You're someone who has faced just several lifetimes, it feels like, worth of transformation in this one life, and you're very rare because of it. I think there's something to like you being able to flow so easily into your shadow space because of all the things that you've been through. Something about that is significant for this pile. In a good way. It's allowed you to find how you stick, and I feel like you're finding community in this moment in a highly meaningful way, maybe in a way as well that you've been waiting on. And the symbol of, and as I say that, 1331, as I say this, was on my timer, but like a symbol of 3 and threes and Trinity and like the triple goddess keeps coming through, like symbolism of those things keep coming through. And I feel like you might be I honestly am someone who believes that we're young, like all the way up until the moment we die, no matter our biological age. So I don't really know what it means when I say this, but I feel like you're someone who's young. And I mean, I just said that a second ago, so I mean, we're all young, but it's like, I feel like you are just, I will say this, I feel like you're pile 3, you're wise beyond your years, because like, you know, the triple goddess is like the maiden, the mother, the crone, and it's like, I just feel like you're very wise, and it doesn't really matter what your age is, but you're wise beyond your years. You're someone who's so rare, it's almost like you're like your mythological figure. And I'm hearing you're someone who people would never guess your lore, the myth behind you, the myth behind the man. And I just heard man on the moon. So you're someone who has like a diamond heart. It's very cleansing and like unbreakable and valuable, and you're incredibly special. Incredibly special. Anyone would be lucky to know and love you. Anyone. We have a charm that says, angels watching over me. I think you're someone who takes a rainy day and uses it to fill up your rain barrel so that you can water your garden later. You make, you know, the rough times in life, it's almost like you just make them feel like horseplay, and every moment in life is about play to you. And those harder moments, it's almost like you make them horseplay. You get through tough times without second thought. You play the tune of life well, I'm hearing, masterfully. And I just heard La Cocina. I don't know what that means. Let me look that up real fast. And I'm getting like there's like a name for this style. So that actually means the kitchen. I did not know that. I did not know that, y'all. That is like blowing my mind right now. But it means the kitchen, and that's totally tying into the vibe that I'm getting, which is like a southwestern, and I'm hearing like Pueblo. I'll have to look that up too. I do not know what this is, and I do know this other word, but I can't think of it, and I can't remember. It's a style of house. I can't remember if it's called stucco or something. I'll have to look it up, but it's like a clay style house that's common in the southwest of the US. That's coming to mind for some reason. Maybe it's just significant to you, and for some reason, like baking, like baked clay, and like a baked clay thing in the shape of like a sun that's been painted. Let me look up this other word though. Okay, I think I did know Pueblo. It's just like that was recalled from like I went through time to get that, y'all. Okay, I'm being totally goofy right now, but I feel like you're someone who has a lot of tricks up their sleeve in a good way. Like, you put on a show. You make a show of life. Like, you know, people feel like they're watching you. You may not feel like it, but I mean, they feel like they're watching a show watching you. You're like a show dog. And I just heard like hula hoop. You're someone who's like incredibly trustworthy. They can trust your word and your heart and your conscience. You're someone who's like incredibly adaptive and fun, and there's something about you that feels like fleeting. And it's interesting because like you're like you're fleeting, like how you let go of a balloon. I was saying what's interesting is because I have this ornament charm in my hand that I've picked up with the dragonfly charm there, and as I was talking about the fleeting thing, I'm actually holding this charm in the position of a balloon, which is I realize that as that imagery is coming to me. You're you know, you're someone who's incredibly special though, and people don't want to let go of you, even though you are something that is incredibly fleeting. You can't help it because you're, you know, on your way to higher places. you can't help it but ascend. But, you know, when people let go of balloons, they don't rise with a balloon, they stay on Earth. So it's like most of everybody is not meant to ascend with you. I don't feel like that's something that's like incredibly hurtful to you. I feel like, you know, you feel ambivalent to that. I don't feel, I mean, maybe if I like tap into it a little bit deeply, a little bit more deeply, you do feel good about it. But I feel like really like you don't think about it that deeply, and it feels more like neutral. It feels more neutral. Like I just lost my train of thought, but I think you are someone who is celebrating right now, and I just heard it's everything is coming together, and you are working to collect your harvest. You've gathered your tool to harvest, and you're like walking out to your field basically, in my mind's eye. And your field is it's waiting for you to harvest it. So it's like you're walking up to your harvest, metaphorically. You're in bloom. You might listen to 90s alternative music, and you might have been thinking recently, more than usual or out of the blue, of events and going to events more. But pile 3, that concludes your reading for today on how I would describe you, or how you are able to be described. I hope that was incredibly helpful for you. I definitely enjoyed doing it. And if you enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe. Feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments below. And if you were called to another pile, I'll find you there now. If not though, I hope to see you in another reading soon. Bye.